Benjamin Bloom was born February 21, 1913 in Langsford, Pennsylvania. His parents fled from Russia before he was born. Bloom grew up learning of the differences between his home in America and the life that his parents lived in Russia. This affected Bloom's outlook on the world around him. Bloom viewed America as a land of opportunity. Benjamin Bloom seemed to value this opportunity and spent his younger years curious and eager to learn. Bloom loved to read and research, which he did in his local library. The librarian in Langsford would allow Bloom to check out books and return them. Bloom would read so quickly that he would be ready to return the books the same day he got them. The librarian was skeptical of this and then made him prove to her that he read them by quizzing him on the books. He read all of them. Benjamin Bloom's father was a tailor and supported the family in this way. In 1929, the stock market crashed, which catapulted America into the Great Depression. This was a time where unemployment was at a high and almost all people experienced a great deal of hardship. Not only did people lose money, but it also affected trade, and other countries were at a loss as well. Bloom still found a way to educate himself, though. Pennsylvania State created Commonwealth campuses to assist those who were unable to afford college due to the Depression. So Bloom attended Penn State and received both his bachelor's and master's degrees there. Along with being an educated man, Benjamin Bloom was also a family man. Bloom was devoted to his wife Sophie, and they had 2 sons together. In college, he was not only successful in the classroom, but he was also very skilled at handball in college, and he was a handball champion. He later taught not only handball, but also ping pong, chess, how to compose and type stories, and how to invent to his 2 sons. Bloom later went on to get his PhD at the University of Chicago. After he graduated, he was a staff member of the Board of Examinations there. He was on the board from 1940 to 1943. In 1943, he became an examiner for the university, a job in which he kept until 1959. In 1956, Benjamin Bloom, with the help of Max Engelhardt, Edward First, Walter Hill, and David Krathwohl, published a framework for categorizing educational goals. It was originally published as the Taxonomy of Educational Objectives, but is now more commonly known as Bloom's Taxonomy. The original publication listed a brief overview of the main categories, the first being knowledge. This involves the recall of specifics and universals, the recall of methods and processes, or the recall of a pattern, structure, or setting. The second being comprehension, which refers to a type of understanding or apprehension such that the individual knows what is being communicated and can make use of the material or idea being communicated without necessarily relating it to another material or seeing its fullest implications. The next is application, which refers to the use of abstractions in particular and concrete situations. Next is analysis, which represents the breakdown of a communication into its constituent elements or parts such that the relative hierarchy of ideas is made clear and/or the relations between ideas expressed are made explicit. Next is synthesis, which involves the putting together of elements and parts so as to form a whole. And the last is evaluation, which is judgments about the value of material and methods for given purposes. The original framework was then revised in 2001 by a group of cognitive psychologists, curriculum theorists, instructional researchers, and testing and assessment specialists. They changed the main categories from the original nouns to verbs. The verbs were said to describe the cognitive processes by which thinkers encounter and work with knowledge. In 2007, Andrew Churches refined Bloom's taxonomy again to reflect technology and 21st century learning. The verbs used today are remember, understand, apply, analyze, evaluate, and create. Bloom's taxonomy is a hierarchy that orders cognitive skills by level. The top of the hierarchy are more complex skills, and the bottom are less complex skills. Bloom's taxonomy is used in countless classrooms today to aid teachers and help students learn.